Once upon a time, there was two students in Loren Rice's Macroeconomics class who began studying monetary policy the night before the big test. One student had a good understanding of the material, the other student had no clue of what was going on. This student began getting frustrated.
Dude, it's right there. That's how you do it. That's what he taught us.
Have you seen the notes? That is literally backwards. Like, you know Loren doesn't like those dotted lines all crooked like that. What is 108? That is not the degree of that line. I'm gonna go watch the Cub game, okay?
I don't understand how Dalton understands this stuff so easily. Monetary policy's tough, man. I just wish Loren taught it slower, for me at least. I don't know, maybe I should trust what he says and just go to sleep and not study the night before a test. Why not?
After the student fell into a deep sleep, he began dreaming, and suddenly the monetary musketeers appeared.
The first thing you need to know when you want to understand monetary policy would be the three functions of money. 1, medium of exchange. 2, the store of value. And 3, the measure of value.
The second thing you need to know about monetary policy is that only banks and the government can create money. Banks create money by making loans, and then the government creates money by printing money.
When we begin to talk about the tools of monetary policy, the most important one would be the required reserve ratio, or in parentheses, the 3 lowercase r's. This is the amount out of each deposit that a bank, by law, must keep on hand at the bank itself. When we throw these into the graphs that you'll see later, when we increase the required reserve ratio, the money supply would go down, and vice versa. So when we would decrease the ratio, the money supply would go up.
The second tool of monetary policy is open market operations. This is when the Federal Reserve either purchases or sells government securities in an attempt to change the money supply.
Tool number 3 of monetary policy would be changing the discount rate, and that is the interest rate that the Federal Reserve will charge banks for overnight loans. Along with part 3 of changing the discount rate, an overnight loan would be borrowing from the Federal Reserve once the bank closes at night, and then paying it back to the Federal Reserve before the bank would open the very next day.
The fourth tool is federal funds rate, which is the interest rate at which banks make overnight loans to other banks. Do you want to teach him the graphs?
Not really. Let's pass it off to the graph master.
So here we have the monetary demand graph, and in order to cause a shift outward in money supply and causing a decrease in interest, we need one of the 4 things to happen. Either 1, a decrease in the required reserve ratio, 2, more buying of government bonds, 3, an increased discount rate, and 4, an increased federal funds rate. So here we have the monetary demand graph where the money supply shifts inward, and this is caused by one of 4 things again. An increase in reserve ratio, the selling of government bonds, increased discount rate, or a decreased federal funds rate. And again, this will increase the interest.
The student wakes up and goes to take his test. The student gets his test back.